Every store you walk into is a psychological trap. The layout, the music, even the smell, all designed to make you spend money you never planned to. You just walked into a grocery store to pick up milk and eggs. That's it. 2 items. But somehow, 45 minutes later, you're standing at the checkout with a cart full of things you didn't know you needed. Scented candles, a new cutting board, 3 bags of chips that were on a buy 2 get 1 deal. And the milk? You almost forgot it. This isn't a failure of willpower. This is by design. The modern retail store is one of the most sophisticated psychological manipulation environments ever created. Every aisle, every shelf, every price tag has been engineered by teams of behavioral scientists, consumer psychologists, and data analysts with one goal: to make you spend more money than you intended. And it works. A 2023 report by the International Council of Shopping Centers found that 79% of all in-store purchases are unplanned. Not 20%, not 50%. Nearly 4 out of every 5 things you buy in a physical store were not on your list when you walked in. Paco Underhill, founder of the retail consulting firm Envirocell and author of Why We Buy: The Science of Shopping, spent decades using hidden cameras and tracking technology to study how people move through stores. His conclusion was blunt: retailers know more about your behavior than you do. They have mapped every hesitation, every glance, every touch, and they use that knowledge against you. Today, we're going to expose 7 psychological tricks that stores use to make you spend more money. These are strategies backed by decades of consumer psychology research. And once you see them, you will never shop the same way again. Before we get into the 7 tricks, you need to understand why your brain is so vulnerable in a retail environment. The answer lies in a concept called cognitive load. When you walk into a store, your brain is immediately processing thousands of pieces of information: colors, shapes, prices, labels, other shoppers, music, temperature, smells. This sensory overload depletes your cognitive resources, making you more susceptible to impulsive decisions. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize for his work on decision-making, describes 2 systems of thinking. System 1 is fast, automatic, and emotional. System 2 is slow, deliberate, and rational. When your brain is overwhelmed with stimuli, System 2 essentially shuts down and System 1 takes over. You stop analyzing. You start reacting. Retailers know this. They don't want you thinking carefully about whether you need that product. They want you feeling like you need it. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology found that shoppers who reported feeling overwhelmed by store environments spend an average of 23% more than those who felt in control. This is not accidental. Every element of a store's design, from the entrance to the checkout, is calibrated to keep your System 2 offline for as long as possible. And the 7 tricks we're about to discuss are the primary tools they use to do it. The first 5 to 15 feet of any store is called the decompression zone. This is the area just inside the entrance where your brain transitions from the outside world to the retail environment. And during this transition, you are essentially blind. Paco Underhill discovered through years of hidden camera research that shoppers almost never notice products placed in this zone. You won't pick up a sign. You won't register a display. Your brain is still adjusting to the lighting, the temperature, the noise level. Smart retailers know this, which is why they don't waste their best products on the entrance. Instead, they use the decompression zone strategically. You'll often find a large, visually striking display, something that slows you down and signals that this is a premium shopping experience. Think of the fresh flower displays at the entrance of grocery stores or the seasonal showcase at Target. But here's the trick. The real selling begins just past this zone. The moment your brain has adjusted, you'll encounter high-margin impulse items, bestsellers, or products designed to create a positive first impression. Grocery stores place fresh produce and bakeries near the entrance, not because it's convenient, but because the colors and smells trigger a sense of abundance and freshness that puts you in a spending mood. Have you ever walked into a store with a clear purpose, but within minutes, you forgot what you came for and started browsing aimlessly? That experience has a name. It's called the Gruen Transfer, named after architect Victor Gruen, who designed the first enclosed shopping mall in 1956. The Gruen Transfer describes the moment a shopper transitions from purposeful movement to undirected browsing. And modern retailers engineer this moment deliberately. The most famous example is IKEA. Their stores use a forced path layout that guides you through every single department, even if you only came for a lamp. The winding pathway is designed to disorient your sense of direction and time. By the time you find a shortcut, you've already passed 30 rooms of perfectly staged furniture that you suddenly feel like you need. But IKEA is not alone. Grocery stores strategically place essential items like milk, eggs, and bread at the very back of the store, forcing you to walk past hundreds of products to reach them. A study by the Food Marketing Institute found that the average shopper passes 30,000 items during a single grocery trip, and each one is a potential impulse purchase. The Gruen Transfer works because once you lose your sense of purpose, your brain defaults to exploratory behavior. You're no longer shopping with intent. You're browsing, and browsers buy more than shoppers. In the retail world, there is a saying, eye level is by level. Products placed at eye level sell up to 35% more than those on the top or bottom shelves. And this positioning is not random. Major brands pay what are called slotting fees, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars per product, to secure prime shelf real estate. The slotting fee industry is estimated to exceed $50 billion annually in the United States alone. This means the products you see first are not necessarily the best or the cheapest. They are the ones that paid the most to be there. Children's products follow the same logic, just lower. Sugary cereals, candy, and character-branded snacks are deliberately placed at a child's eye level, roughly 3 feet from the ground. This is not an oversight. It's a calculated strategy to turn children into advocates who pressure their parents to buy. End caps, the displays at the ends of aisles, are another premium placement. Shoppers perceive end cap products as being on sale, even when they're not. A study from the Wharton School of Business found that simply moving a product to an end cap increased sales by an average of 30%, regardless of any price change. And then there's the checkout lane. This is the most valuable real estate in any store. While you're standing in line with nothing to do, you're surrounded by impulse items. Candy, magazines, gum, batteries, all priced low enough that buying them feels insignificant. The music playing in a store is not there to entertain you. It is there to control you. In 1982, researcher Ronald Milliman published a groundbreaking study showing that the tempo of background music directly affects shopping behavior. When stores played slow music, shoppers moved more slowly through the aisles and spent 38% more money than when fast tempo music was playing. They didn't realize the music was influencing them. They just lingered longer, picked up more items, and spent more. Follow-up research found that even the genre matters. A study at a wine shop showed that playing French music increased sales of French wine by 300%, while German music boosted German wine sales by the same proportion. When asked, shoppers denied the music had any influence on their choices. Then there's scent. The $12 billion scent marketing industry exists because smell is the only sense directly connected to the brain's limbic system, the area responsible for emotions and memory. When you walk into a Cinnabon and smell freshly baked cinnamon rolls, that's not accidental. Their ovens are designed to vent directly into the walkway. A study by the Smell and Taste Treatment and Research Foundation found that pleasant ambient scents increased purchase intent by up to 84% in Nike stores. Abercrombie and Fitch pumps cologne through their ventilation system. Real estate agents bake cookies before open houses. The principle is the same. When something smells good, your brain associates that positive feeling with the products around you. Have you ever seen a $5,000 handbag in a store window and thought, who buys that? The answer might surprise you. That handbag isn't necessarily there to be sold. It's there to make the $800 handbag next to it look like a bargain. This is called anchoring, a cognitive bias first documented by psychologists Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman. The first price you see becomes your reference point, your anchor. Everything after that is judged relative to it. A $499 jacket seems expensive in isolation, but placed next to a $1,299 jacket, it suddenly feels like a deal. Restaurants use this constantly. The most expensive item on the menu is often not the one they expect you to order. It's there to make the second most expensive item, which carries the highest profit margin, look reasonable by comparison. Then there's the decoy effect, also known as asymmetric dominance. Imagine you're choosing between a small popcorn for $3 and a large for $7. Most people choose the small, but add a medium for $6.50, and suddenly the large looks like incredible value. The medium was never meant to sell. It exists only to push you toward the expensive option. The Economist famously used this strategy with their subscription tiers. When they offered print only for $125 and print plus digital for $125, with a digital-only option at $59, the seemingly irrational same-price option made 84% of customers choose the combo. Remove the decoy, and only 32% chose the combo. Only 3 left in stock. Sale ends tonight. Limited edition. Members-only pricing. These phrases are not informational. They are psychological weapons, and they exploit one of the most powerful biases in human cognition, loss aversion. Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman demonstrated that the pain of losing something is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining it. When a store tells you there are only 3 items left, your brain doesn't process that as a neutral fact. It processes it as an impending loss. You're not gaining a product. You're preventing yourself from missing out. This is why Amazon's lightning deals show a countdown timer and a percentage claim bar. The visual urgency triggers your fight or flight system. Your rational brain knows it's just a product page, but your limbic system is screaming, act now or lose this forever. Fashion retailers like Zara have mastered artificial scarcity at a structural level. They produce small batches intentionally, creating the perception that if you don't buy it today, it will be gone tomorrow. And they're right, but only because they designed it that way. A 2020 study in the Journal of Retailing found that scarcity messaging increased purchase likelihood by 33%, even when shoppers suspected the scarcity was manufactured. The feeling of potential loss overrides rational skepticism. Your brain would rather buy something unnecessary than risk the regret of missing out. There's a reason stores want you to touch things. The moment you pick up a product, your brain begins to treat it as yours. This is called the Endowment Effect, a principle identified by economist Richard Thaler, who won the Nobel Prize in Economics for his work on behavioral economics. The Endowment Effect states that people value things more simply because they possess them. Once you're holding that sweater, once you've tried on those shoes, once you've test-driven that car, giving it back feels like a loss. You're no longer deciding whether to buy something. You're deciding whether to give up something that already feels like yours. Research published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that simply touching a product for 30 seconds increased willingness to pay by up to 60%. Stores know this, which is why Apple products are displayed unboxed and turned on. Why furniture stores set up living rooms you can sit in. Why Costco offers free samples of everything. Free samples are particularly effective because they trigger two psychological forces simultaneously. The endowment effect, because you're experiencing the product as if you already own it. And reciprocity, the deeply ingrained social norm that when someone gives you something, you feel obligated to give something back. In this case, that something is a purchase. Even online retailers use digital versions of this. Amazon's one-click ordering and free return policies reduce the friction of buying so much that the product feels like it's already yours before it arrives. Now that you know the 7 tricks, here's how to defend yourself against them. First, always shop with a list. This sounds obvious, but it's surprisingly effective. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found that shoppers who used a written list spent 23% less than those who didn't. The list serves as an external anchor for your system to thinking. It keeps your rational mind engaged even when the store is designed to shut it down. Second, set a budget before you enter the store. A specific number, not a vague intention. When you have a concrete limit, your brain has a reference point that competes with the store's anchoring strategies. Third, never shop hungry. A 2013 study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that hunger doesn't just increase food purchases. It increases purchases of everything. Hungry shoppers bought 64% more non-food items than satiated shoppers. Your brain interprets hunger as a general state of want. Fourth, use the 24-hour rule for any unplanned purchase over $20. Leave the store. If you still want it tomorrow, go back and buy it. Research shows that 70% of impulse purchases are abandoned when shoppers give themselves a cooling-off period. Fifth, pay with cash whenever possible. A study by MIT researchers Dražen Prelec and Duncan Simister found that people spend up to 83% more when using credit cards versus cash. The physical act of handing over money triggers a pain response in the brain that credit cards completely bypass. And finally, shop the perimeter. In grocery stores, the healthiest and cheapest staples, produce, dairy, meat, and bread, are along the walls. The center aisles are where the highest margin processed goods live, surrounded by the most sophisticated manipulation tactics. If this video changed the way you see stores, share it with someone who always comes home with bags full of things they didn't plan to buy. The more people understand these tactics, the harder they are to use against us. Subscribe to Hidden Motives for more psychology-backed breakdowns of the manipulation happening all around you. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And drop a comment below. What's the most ridiculous impulse purchase you've ever made? We all have one. Until next time, shop with your brain